What's up, people? This is the second video on naming. And if you didn't do yesterday's video, which most of you probably have, make sure you do that one first. Again, make sure that you don't Google answers to this stuff when you're at home. You need to figure out how to do it. We're going to be using these names for the rest of the semester, okay? So do not Google these answers, please. You're doing yourself a disservice. All right. Now remember, +1, +2, +3, plus or minus 4, -3, -2, -1. Those are our oxidation numbers, right? And we said anything that crosses the stairs is an ionic bond. And I said, this is a review of yesterday, hey, what if you had to write a formula for lithium and nitrogen? Then you would say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw some cards. I'm going to say lithium, that's +1, and nitrogen, that's a -3 card. So I'm going to need 3 lithium cards. That's the only way to even this whole thing out. And the formula would be Li3N. All right, cool. So we did a lot of stuff like that yesterday. And that's all hunky-dory as long as we're dealing with metals from these rows. Well, what if I said, hey, what's the formula for vanadium and oxygen? You would say, okay, I know that oxygen here, oxygen is a -2 card. And then vanadium is I don't know. And that's correct. You could not do that. All right? You can't say what's the formula for vanadium and oxygen. And the reason is vanadium and all these guys here in the middle, almost all of them, have multiple oxidation numbers. That's why we don't just write a number here, okay? Their oxidation numbers change. As a matter of fact, let's talk about vanadium. This card right here exists. Vanadium sometimes has a +1 charge. And vanadium also sometimes have a +2 charge. And vanadium also could have a +3 charge. We don't know. So if I said, what's the formula for vanadium and oxygen, you couldn't do it. I would have to be more specific. How can you be more specific, Mr. Perkins? Well, these different atoms have different names. This one is called vanadium, Roman numeral 1. This one is called vanadium, Roman numeral 2. This one is called vanadium, Roman numeral 3. So when you're talking about these atoms that are from the middle, you can't say just their name. You have to say their name and a Roman numeral. The Roman numeral gives you the charge. Now this ends up confusing kids because I end up asking you questions like, what is the formula for vanadium 1 oxide? And you would say, okay, vanadium 1, that means vanadium with a +1. Oxygen has a -2. Okay, I'm going to need 2 of these cards. If they're each vanadium 1, I'm going to need 2 of the cards. So the formula is V2O. So the formula for vanadium 1 oxide is V2O. Well, you can figure that out. But sometimes I turn it around and I say, hey, what is the name of this formula? And children automatically write vanadium, and then they see the 2 there, 2 oxide. And that is wrong. Wrong. With a capital letter and a stuff and junk. Wrong. V2O is actually vanadium 1 oxide. The Roman numeral stands for the charge. So that is your second baby step in naming today. There'll be several assignments. Don't Google. Don't Google. Stop Googling. Stop Googling. Stop Googling. You're going to get crazy answers, or even if you get the answer right, you're learning nothing. You're learning nothing unless you try and practice, okay? So I'm going to give you a worksheet today, and the worksheet's going to have some simple formulas. Some of them will come from up here, and you'll say, oh, this is lithium nitride. And some will come from here, and then you'll have to use the Roman numeral. All right, good luck.